Hi, I'm Loretta.
And I'm Lynn. And today we are going to show you our 9-inch Go Cube sampler.
Yes.
That's behind us.
It's right here. This was made with Robert Kaufman fabrics and in just these awesome bright colors. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. And our designer used every single die that's in both the mix and match cube as well as the companion set.
Yes.
So this is a great example of what you can do with your cubes and your companion sets.
Yes.
And you could really make this in any of the sizes of cubes.
Of the cubes, right.
Right. And you can also, you could change out if I like other blocks that are in the 144 blocks or the 72 block sheets, then I could definitely do that.
You don't have to follow this exact pattern. You can, like you said, choose whichever blocks that you want to make.
Right, so I think this is a great example of what you can do.
I agree.
And so what are we going to do today?
Okay, so today we are going to make, this is the Drunkard's Footpath block, and so it has the Drunkard's Path and a quarter square triangle block. So I am going to cut out shape number 11, which is the Drunkard's Path arc shape. And then shape number 12, these are both from your companion set. This is the quarter circle of the Drunkard's Path.
And this is also one of the, I just wanted to mention, one of the patterns that comes in your cube companion set. So you can see how with the numbers, they're also on your patterns. Makes it very easy. Very easy.
It tells you how many you need to make the block. So in this case, I am going to cut, or I'm going to cut 2 layers so that I have my 2 Drunkard's Path pieces. So
all right.
I'm just going to run die number 11 through.
Okay, and we're using our Go cutter, but you could absolutely, that's what's great about the 9-inch cube set is that it's compatible with all the cutters. And if you're using your Go big cutter, it's the press of a button, but also you can cut 2 dies at a time, which is great.
Could, because you have a mat in both of your cubes also, a 6x6 mat, so you could just take both of those mats and use that.
Right, so you have everything that you need.
There's your quarter circles.
Okay.
The great thing about these is they have the notches already cut for you. So if you're used to garment sewing, that I did start out making clothes for my daughter, so I'm used to having to notch those little pieces when you're cutting out a pattern and your fabric, and that's not fun. So this is really helpful that the notches are already cut for you.
Right. And so with your Drunkard's Path, you want to start with your arc shape on top, and then we usually add about 3 pins.
Right.
So we're going to pin the notch right there. Then I'm just going to match up this corner and this corner, and then pin that, and then I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing, match those 2 corners up. You can see that, and pin that. And it's really also helpful to use a stiletto.
Right.
I forgot to bring mine today, but I'm going to use a die pick for that, but you'll get the same idea. And so we're just going to start sewing right there, and we're going to use a standard 1/4-inch seam.
Right. So like we were talking about, if these blocks are not the ones that you want to use, we do have this wonderful brochure that has 144 blocks in it. So this is available for download on our website at AccuQuilt.com, or you can also go to one of your signature dealers and pick this up. They would have these. So there are 72 blocks on these 2 pages, and then there's 72 more here, and this page uses your companion set. So you have a lot of options for blocks if you don't like these. So,
or you just want to try something different
than what's in the pattern.
Okay, so
maybe you want to use all Drunkard's Path in your sampler quilt.
Right.
Be a little more challenging.
So, or at least we always say this isn't a race, it's a marathon.
Right. And your sewing machine only stitches straight, so you really have to work with working on that curve.
Right, and I think definitely the better, or the more that you sew curves, the better you get at it, just like with anything.
Exactly.
And you can go a little bit faster. And I'm just trying to keep my sides lined up. Yep.
And that stiletto, or in this case, we're improvising with the die pick, that really does help keep those ends together, because your fingers just don't always fit in there. And this would be easier using a 12-inch block, correct? This is a 9-inch, but when you're using larger pieces, that's going to be a little bit easier. The 6-inch is going to be a little more challenging as well.
All right, and so then usually the fabric kind of tells you which way it wants to go, so we'll just press that out.
Okay.
And then we will we can put it, we've got our block up here, so that would go into that corner. And then the next thing I was going to do was we'll sew these two together, so we can kind of show you that finished block. Now this is a lot easier stitch.
Just a straight stitch.
Whoops, okay. So you definitely can, I'm not sure if you mentioned, you can definitely do chain piecing with the different quarter blocks.
Right. Makes it very fast. I think you could have these blocks put together like in a weekend, don't you?
Oh yes, yeah. And I would definitely do all my cutting all at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then the last step would be you would just sew that straight stitch there. So really,
easy.
It's a great way also to get to know your cube to do these samplers, because then you kind of understand like all the possibilities with the different shapes and what works, which ones mix and match with which other ones.